Have you ever had an experience in your life where you just felt like everything changed? Where something happened that shifted the way you see things or forced you to change your point of view about something? Well, if you've had this kind of experience, then congratulations, because you've had what's called a quantum shift. And once you understand how to use this in your favor, you can actually control reality itself. I know that sounds far out, but stay with me because I want to explain something that most people don't understand. In fact, I didn't understand until I was 27 years old, but once I did, it changed my life forever. I mean, I literally went from making less than $10,000 a year to making over 10 grand a month. And I believe the reason for that is because I learned something about how reality works. So in this video, I want to share something very important with you about a quantum shift. And by the end of this video, I want you to have an understanding of what a quantum shift is and how to create them so you can literally shift your reality. Because here's the thing, there are certain beliefs that we all hold that are based on our past experiences. These beliefs then determine how we act and what we do. So if we can change those beliefs, then we can change our behavior. And if we can change our behavior, then we can change our reality. In fact, there's a quote from the author of The Untethered Soul that says, "You can only get what you believe you can get." I love this quote because it's so true. And it explains why most people never achieve their dreams and goals. Most people do and get what they want out of life simply because they do and believe they can get it. They have limiting beliefs that are holding them back from being successful. So let's talk about some of these limiting beliefs. Okay, now here's a question for you. How many of you believe that you can be successful? Raise your hand if you think you can be successful. Now keep your hand raised if you also believe that you can be happy. Keep it raised if you believe you can be rich. Keep it raised if you believe you can be healthy. Now, if you kept your hand raised through all those questions, good for you. But chances are at least one of those questions made you drop your hand. And that's okay, because this is what happens to most people. We all have limiting beliefs that are holding us back. But here's the good news. We can change these beliefs, and when we do, it creates what's called a quantum shift. A quantum shift is basically a change in the way we see things. It's a change in our point of view. And when we have a quantum shift, it changes the way we act. It changes the way we interact with other people, and it changes the way we interact with reality itself. And the reason why I say that is because when we have a quantum shift, it changes the way we think. And when we change the way we think, it changes the way we feel. And when we change the way we feel, it changes the way we act. And when we change the way we act, it changes our reality. So let's take a look at a couple examples of quantum shifts that will literally change your life if you implement them into your everyday life. All right, the first example I want to talk about is the example of someone who is looking for a job. Let us say that you read someone who's been looking for a job for months, and you starting to feel discouraged. Maybe you've been told that you're not qualified for a position, or that you're overqualified. Maybe you've been rejected time and time again, and you starting to feel like it's hopeless. You might start to believe that you're not capable of finding a job. That belief will then dictate how you act and what you do. And if you act in a way that's negative or defeated, then you'll continue to attract more negativity and more defeat. However, let's say instead that you had a quantum shift. Let's say that instead of believing that you're not capable of finding a job, you started to believe that you're capable of finding an amazing job that you love. Let us say that you started to believe that you deserve a job that pays you well and gives you lots of opportunities for growth and advancement. When you start to believe these things, it changes the way you think. It changes the way you feel. It changes the way you act, and it changes your reality. For example, maybe you're inspired to go out and network with other people. You start talking to people in your field and letting them know that you're looking for a job. You might even go out and take some courses to make yourself more qualified for the jobs that you want. You might start applying for more jobs, and you might start getting more callbacks and interviews. All of a sudden, things start to turn around for you, and you find a job that you love. That's because you had a quantum shift in the way you think about finding a job. All right, let's take a look at another example. Let's say that you're someone who struggles with relationships. Maybe you've been hurt in the past, or maybe you've seen your parents struggle in their relationship. Whatever the case may be, you might start to believe that it's just not possible for you to have a healthy and happy relationship. Again, this belief will dictate how you act and what you do. And if you act in a way that's guarded or closed off, then you'll continue to attract more negativity and more pain into your relationships. However, let's say that you had a quantum shift. Let's say that instead of believing that you can't have a healthy and happy relationship, you started to believe that you are worthy of love and that you can have a fulfilling and meaningful relationship with someone else. When you start to believe this, it changes the way you think, it changes the way you feel, it changes the way you act, and it changes your reality. For example, maybe you're now open to meeting new people and forming new relationships. Maybe you start dating and you start having fun and enjoying yourself. Maybe you start communicating in a more honest and open way. All of a sudden, things start to change for you and you find yourself in a happy and fulfilling relationship. That's because you had a quantum shift in the way you think about relationships. Now let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a quantum shift in your life? If so, what was it? What did it change? And what effect did it have on your life? Please share your story in the comments below because your story could help someone else have a quantum shift in their own life. Now look, I know that this concept might be a little bit difficult to understand, but trust me, once you really get it, it will change your life forever. It's like the movie The Matrix. In the movie, Neo is living his life in a computer-generated world. He's plugged into the Matrix, and he doesn't realize it. Then he meets Morpheus, who tells him that the world he's living in is not real. The world he's living in is just a program. And there's a real world outside of the Matrix. At first, Neo doesn't believe it. He thinks Morpheus is crazy. But eventually, he takes the red pill, and he wakes up to the truth. And when he does, he has a quantum shift in his understanding of reality. His whole world changes. And that's what happens when you have a quantum shift. Your whole world can change. You just have to be willing to take the red pill. And it starts with a change in the way you think. So I want you to think about the areas of your life that need a quantum shift. What are the areas where you need to change your point of view? What are the limiting beliefs that you need to overcome? Once you identify those areas, you can start to work on changing your beliefs. And when you do, you'll have a quantum shift and your reality will change. If you like this video, please hit the like button. It really helps me out. Also, please subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every single day that will help you become a better version of yourself.